Hi, I'm Amanda Delaney, and this is my presentation on sexism in advertising. So I want you to think about for just a few seconds about what is considered feminine beauty in today's society. So a while ago, it was the corsets with the, ultra thin waist, super skinny, but today curvier with a bust and butt is what's in and considered beautiful on a woman, along with thin, toned waist and thighs, and she's expected to be tall with long legs. So I just did a general Google search for beautiful women, and this is what I got. I took a screenshot of my screen of what popped up, and this honestly fits perfectly with the description that we were given in the book. Um, all of them are thin or toned waisted, and then they have a bigger chest to go with what society deems as beautiful. So I want you to look at this image and just kind of think for a few seconds of your first thoughts, like what pops into mind. There was a similar image in the book, and I just went with this image just because it kind of fit better with the um, theme that I was going for. So some thoughts that I had when I first looked at this image was my stomach does not look like that. Most of the women I'm around do not look like that. Her skin is flawless. I mean, she has no cellulite. Um, is she a piece of meat? I thought about this because in high school in my ag class, we had a cow that was cut like this, and we had to identify all the different pieces of meat. And so that was like another thought. Like they're making her look like a piece of meat, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And her hair's got great volume. Like I said, her skin is amazing. The skin tone, everybody wants to be that tan. Objectifying women. How are women objectified in advertisements? So one way is by sexualizing them. Like we just saw, um, she was in a bikini. There wasn't much skin covered. Her chest was puffed out to kind of draw men's attention to that. The whole idea for the ad was that men are typically the hunters. Men are the ones that, are against PETA. So they think using the sex sells idealism, if we dress a woman in, little to no clothing, we make her look sexy, it'll draw men's attention. They'll, stop eating meat. They'll go vegetarian. We'll save animals. But that's not really fair to women. Another way that women are objectified in advertisements is by body chopping and dismembering of their bodies. So these three images is just an example of how body chopping, which I never even thought about this, and like how it can send the wrong message to women and their body and how they're human, and this dehumanizes them. Um, so we learned in the book, in the readings, that generally the neck between the knees is what typically stays. The ones that do have the legs, you can tell they're still a little bit seductive, the pear shaped, but drawing attention to a woman's butt. And also I feel like it's giving that, pear-shaped women some time to, show off their bodies and that, be there for them. The picture in the middle, the woman appears to be a table, which objectifying, she's as good as a table, I guess. And this first image, sorry, I went a little backwards. This first image, you just have the woman's torso, which is where her chest is. We're kind of drawing attention to that with the lower boob being exposed. And of course, if you notice in all three of these images, there's no woman from the neck up, kind of giving that thought to, women are just good for their bodies when really we have ideas and thoughts and feelings and goals that we keep all up in here in our brain. So the provocateur is someone young, beautiful, seductive, perfect. So when I did the search for a provocateur, this is what popped up. As you can see, they are young women, they are beautiful, and they look seductive. I mean, a lot of them look like they're in little nighties. Some of them have some cleavage showing. They're in heels. But of course, we cannot achieve this without being photoshopped, without airbrushing, without lighting techniques, cosmetic surgery, dentistry, and using so many beauty products to make ourselves look that way. And it's unfair and unrealistic to have women, ordinary women, look at ads and commercials and movies and things and see these women and think badly about themselves because they don't look like that, when in reality the model themselves don't even look like that. There's a lot of work that goes into making them look like that just because that's what society says is beautiful. So consequences that come out of models looking like a provocateur are body issues, and we talked about that in one of our discussion posts. So some things that can come from body issue, like women having body issues because all they see is perfect women in the media and advertising and things like that, are eating disorders like bulimia and anorexia. Body dysmorphic disorder was something I didn't think of earlier in the class, but it's when you look in a mirror or look in pictures and you just don't feel like that kind of matches. Like you're gorgeous, but when you look in the mirror and things like that, you feel just ugly. You feel so horrible about yourself. Another issue that comes up with women having body image issues is depression. You feel so bad about yourself and you feel so sad and upset, and but everybody's different. You have health issues, everybody is different, and there's no need to compare yourself to what you see online or in movies. Another one is social anxiety. You just feel like everybody's watching you, everybody's paying attention to you, and you hate going out because you feel like all eyes are on you and you feel horrible about yourself. You're comparing yourself to everyone out that you see at the grocery store or the mall or movies or dinner, whatever the case may be. So here is an image of a woman with an eating disorder. And I don't know about you, but I just don't see that as beautiful. I feel sorry for her and I want to help her. The picture on the right is her a lot healthier. She's bigger, but she's still, gorgeous and looks happy. And this picture is how a person with body dysmorphic disorder sees themselves. They look in a mirror and just feel like they look so much bigger than what they really are. How can we end the sexualization and stigma of how women should look? For starters, we can stop using the sex sells method. Women are not objects. We are not what you can use as a pawn to sell your product, to promote your service, whatever the case may be. Secondly, we can represent all body types in ads, movies, and media. And third, show the flaws. Quit airbrushing your models, your actresses, and photoshopping their pictures to make their waist look smaller or their arms look smaller. Um, Honestly, that makes your model feel bad about themselves as well. Like, I wouldn't want to work for anyone that doesn't think I'm good enough to advertise for them. So I also Googled healthy body types, and this is what came up. And I love it because there's so many body types on here. If you look at this whole, there's the apple, the pear, carrot, um, women of all shapes and sizes. I mean, even this top left one has thighs that are smaller, thighs that are bigger, bigger waist, smaller. It's just, this is what's considered healthy, all body types. And there are my resources. Thank you.